Esports, talk about Team Soul, R Esports, Team Celsius. Every single one of these teams are under the cloud there, under the weather maybe. But this is going to be so important. Let's see where they're going to go. Talking about Miramar, Skylar's Gaming, as usual, they're topping the charts with 64 total points. Meanwhile, OR Esports, not so far away, it seems, Loki.
Absolutely, OR Esports not that far away, and well, it seems that they are going to be dropping somewhere close to El Azahar. We'll see where the team in grey is going to be going. I believe they're going to be moving towards Tierra Bronca instead. As well, that's a decent enough spot to go. Maybe you even get yourself towards Campo Multa, but rotating out of there can be a nightmare if the circle doesn't form on top. Now, Los Leones, Chumacera, La Trolera, even Val del Mar Val del Mar in particular should be a little bit harder to access because it's a little bit further away from the flight path, but all the teams who are going towards the southern end of the map, they should be having their pick, and well, there you go. It has been a long time since we've seen something happening in Los Leones, and this time around, that is where the action could be brewing.
Los Leones is a wonderful city, the biggest city if I'm not wrong, and you can get a lot of loot there. Meanwhile, talking about Only Glitch, another team who is feeling the pressure today. They need to get those points and they need to get them right here, right now, because if you leave it for later games, I think you will feel a lot of pressure, and especially those top teams are not going to be they're going to be so aggressive. They're not going to show any mercy.
Oh yeah. They most certainly aren't. I mean, the top teams are not going to show any sort of respite. They're not going to show any sort of restraint in going forward and taking the wrong fights too, because, well, they might just be headed for some mutually assured destruction. They know they're going to be doing good. Might as well then try, to go forward and see what sort of mechanical mistakes you make when you get put in a bad position, and, try and work your luck, because you never know when that little practice might come in handy. In the meantime, Only Glitch gonna be very, very happy just snagging up all the loot near Cruz del Val, and well, once they're done, they can make their way towards Los Leones. But in the meantime, we're gonna turn our attention towards the house of the patron. We are in Hacienda del Patron, and it seems that Enigma Gaming have no one in sight to contest them.
It's a great place. Look at the loot already. Eggy got level 3 helmet, level 3 vest, level 3 bag, 5 bandages, 2 first aid, 1 painkiller. He's already filled with loot, and I would love to see if he can use that mini to perfection. Talking about total points, they managed to get 99 total points. Pretty secure. They must be feeling right now, Floki, but I think if you can get 120 points first, then you can do whatever you want to do. I don't think after getting 120 points you are going to get eliminated. Plus, it's a nice feeling to cross the 100 mark.
Absolutely. I mean, once you just cross that 100 point mark, you can just sort of, take a chill pill. But 120 is, the most safest cutoff, right? 120, you're guaranteed you're not going to be taken out over here. And, well, I mean, once these teams know that they have nothing to lose, that they have nothing to fear, well, they're going to go in guns blazing, full monkey mode, push forward and see what kind of shenanigans they can get away with. Dave, in the meantime, has found his hands on an M249, and we'll see if he can put this to work. But UDog India, they've had a bit of a quiet day, or rather a quiet day yesterday. They did get 1 chicken dinner on Sandhawk, I believe. So it wasn't all that bad for them, but they kind of need to do a little bit more here if they want to get to the top 16 and qualify. Because otherwise they might not be able to get any sort of money after all their hard work over here.
Well, I think UDOK India played really well, and I think they're going to qualify. They just need 5-10 points more, just for satisfaction purposes, to be honest, Loki. I mean, they already got 112, or maybe 117 if I'm not wrong. So they're feeling good, they are looking good, they are in form, and they are fearless, because their fearless player is playing so well.
Absolutely. Well, he is going to be absolutely fearless, like his name suggests. Every single time Fearless and Rambo are the last 2 members alive, something crazy happens, man. I don't know what is it with the duo, but it seems that those two together, they really pack a punch. OR Esports, well, they just passed by the Nightmare region from yesterday, where I believe they met the members from Team X Lions, almost ended up being taken out 1v4, but in the end, I believe Vexy clutched it out for his team. So OR Esports gonna try and avoid that nightmare situation. Thankfully, this time around, X Lions isn't in the server, so they don't have that little thing to worry about. However, they are going to have to be careful with where they step foot, because while this part of the map is empty as of now, the circle could shift a little bit towards the north and force them to try and face off against a couple of these teams to get themselves deeper into the circle. Hyderabad Hydras in the meantime, I believe that in La Cabrera, their rotation in towards the southern circle is going to be a little difficult to pull off.
A couple of great days for Hyderabad Hydras. After day one, they were at the 22nd position, Floki, but after that, they managed to make a beautiful comeback. They got 133 points to their name with 89 position points, which I believe is just amazing to have. I think Hyderabad Hydras, they are feeling it. They are in good form. They can play a little aggressively today. We'll see how they're going to cope up with the amount of teams that we have in this lobby.
Absolutely. Lots of wonderful teams over here in the lobby trying to make a name for themselves. I'm even talking about Seoul. X-Lines are also in the lobby. Never mind, I was wrong about that. So, yeah, OR might have something to fear after all, but... yeah, I do have to say that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter which teams you're facing in a lobby, because if you want to be the best, you've got to learn how to beat the best. And if you're intimidated by all the teams in the lobby, then, well, maybe the stage isn't the one for you. Well, we'll see if Tactical Esports can repeat the performance in Game 1, because they are going to sort of need something like that to make sure they're able to maintain their spot in the top 16 and see their way through the grand finals. And once again, a lot of these teams who made it from the qualifiers really started to make a name for themselves. Oh boy, that pickup truck. I mean, the good thing is it's got good suspension, so you can, control it rather well. You don't have too much to worry about. But once again, we have seen a couple of cars being flipped over, and I do remember that buggy trying to flip that sports car back up on top and get it on its four tires. So you'll see if these players have any vehicular accidents in the meantime. But Tactical Esports, a relatively timid performance by them so far. Lots of position points, not that many finishes, only 8,200 damage done, but still have 3 chicken dinners to their name.
Well, day one of quarterfinals, they managed to get back-to-back 2 chicken dinners. After that, it seems like, Floki, they managed to have that shroud of invisibility because they were invisible. But right now, they managed to make a comeback. It's day 4, it's desperation times. They managed to win the first chicken dinner. The second match is here. Would they be able to get decent points? Now, that is going to be the most important question for Tactical Esports. Meanwhile, if you have a look at the zone, Team Seoul already rotated through to a decent spot. That's their drop location as well, and they are going to get a decent loot. They need this match to be good.
Yeah, they most certainly need this match to end up working out in their favor, because if they don't get that top 4 or top 3 spot and they don't do it consistently, they are out and eliminated. And for Seoul to not make it to the grand finals could be a sort of a big blow for the team. So, yeah, they're going to try and make sure that they play this one out properly. And, well, just go into this with confidence, because it does seem that everything that Seoul has been trying, it hasn't been working out. So at this point, the only thing that can save them is that good old false courage. Just even if you're not feeling confident, just pretend you're confident, and maybe naturally the confidence will follow through when the time is right.
The best thing they got are the prayers of all the fans, the wishes, the positivity of all the fans. And I would love to see, they always tend to make a comeback, and this comeback story would be like a fairy tale for Team Seoul if they make it. But talking about Team X-Park, what a day yesterday. Yeah. What a beautiful day. What a Miramar to have. Team X-Park, they managed to get a lot of points from the bottom table, bottom slide. They managed to get into top 8, which was great for Team X-Park.
Absolutely. Well, we'll see if they can put up a repeat performance of that this time around, or if they're gonna just crash and burn. That spark will not really fully ignite, as they've got themselves a decent spot to hold. They're very happy with the position they have over here, right at the smack dab center of the circle, and it is gonna be shifting in just about a bit. Let's see where it's gonna go. It's gonna go further into the center, as well, all the water is out of the picture right now. Los Leones still inside, but Picardo and Graveyard also in the mix over here, and no teams occupying that position. So all the teams coming in from north, I'm talking Old Hood, I'm talking our esports, they could potentially eye up that spot for themselves. Of course, they don't know that there's no one there, but yeah, they should be able to get themselves a home inside the circle.
Well, I can see some water there. 7C is there in the center. Jokes apart, but yes, they have a beautiful position, Floki. They got the loot, they got the drop as well. Level 3 helmet, level 3 vest. I wonder if he picked that AUG, which is a wonderful weapon, but I don't think that he picked it. Seems like that. Would love to see. But talking about Spray God, he's a brilliant player, right? The way 7C is playing, it's good. But again, desperation times for them as well. They need some points on the table, and if they can get it, they would feel comfortable. If they are not having those points in this game, it would be hard for them. Meanwhile, what just happened there? Playzone getting the first pick, it seems, on Man TOP.
I'm not too sure what the hell happened, but I believe they should be okay Okay, for now, well, it seems that the members of 17 have spotted out someone in the buggy. Who the hell is it? That's the question. Oh, it might just be the Hyderabad Hydras. Or I could be wrong. Well, we'll find out which team it is soon enough, but Spray God is keeping them at bay, and that is what's most important over here. That pickup truck from this distance can't really be popped with the M4, but maybe if he had a DMR or even a sniper, it could be a different story. Reckoning Esports find a member of Celsius, happy with that information, will be backing off and making their way towards safety.
Now, Reckoning Esports, I mean, the first day was great for them, second day was average for them, third day was not good for them, and fourth day, I mean, it has to be good for them if they want to qualify. Reckoning, talking about the players, they got Spray, Abrar, Stills, and Maxi OP. They had their highs, they had their lows, but we know these players, they are quality players and they would love to qualify today.
Absolutely. I mean, Reckoning Esports want to try and make sure that they get to that top 16 spot once again, because they would hate to go out in that, you know, 9 to 20, sorry, that 17 to 24th spot. Not really a place where a team of their caliber should be. And although esports, well, they need to consider their options carefully too, because while our esports are around the corner, if they take a fight and miss their shots, well, not only are our esports going to have the information that there is someone behind them, but they will also be able to sort of adapt to that. But it does seem that Sultan connects with that M4. He spots out a couple of players, they will switch over vehicles, but now the time for Oldwood to rotate out has come. And sure, that vehicle, it might be smoking over here, but Rockstar should still be able to make enough use of it to get himself inside the zone.
I have to say, Floki, I'm really impressed by both these teams. Already Esports and our Esports played really well, but that guy, Sultan, I think he is gunning for the MVP, not only for this game, for the tournament, I would presume, because he already got IQ MVP 3 times.
Wow.
That guy is just things apart. Meanwhile, talking about Team Soul, this spotted TSG Krish, the superhero, the Indian superhero, is now running away, trying to survive.
Absolutely not very heroic of, or rather heroic of Krish over here. Well, we'll see if he is gonna, you know, maybe redeem himself later on when the circles do start closing his soul. They make their presence felt. They know that if they reveal their hand a bit too much, they could end up being spotted, but they're still preventing the side of TSG from moving in deeper into the circle, so maybe, just maybe, this could work out for them. However, with Celsius Esports closing in, with TSG, Hyderabad Hydras, and XL in, you know, earshot distance of them, they could be in a world of trouble if they fire off a couple of shots and don't connect, because everyone is going to be in on the commotion and everyone's going to want a piece of that finished pie. In the meantime, Reckoning Esports, they have lost Mr. Spray Spearo. I'm not too sure how they dig themselves out of this one.
Beautiful nade coming in from Maxi. Maybe these nades are the way to get out of this troublesome situation. Vexy just got taken down by Maxi. Maxi has to be careful. Team OR trying to, I think they want to surround Reckoning from three different directions, Floki. Let's see if they're going to be able to.
Yeah, well, let's see if Reckoning Esports will be surrounded or if they will be able to try and break their way out of this one. Abrar will eat an aid. Half of his HP gets taken away. But the question is, can he be taken down? Another grenade is going to come through, keep him at bay, and keep the rest of the members from Reckoning Esports also at bay. While OR, they will get Vexy back up on his feet. And Jelly is there to make sure he's watching the push from the doors area. So he's going to make sure that no one can really get in here for free. Question is, can he convert multiple knocks into finishes? Because there might be a couple of players swarming out together.
Beautiful nade parade, I have to say, coming in from Team OR Esports. I mean, they managed to make sure that Vexy would come back, they would revive him. Now it's a 4v4 altercation between two great teams. One team already qualified and other one who's struggling to qualify.
Absolutely, both these teams, well, have a lot to lose and a lot on the line over here. We'll see if they're able to good spot. I mean, OR Esports are relatively less concerned about their position, but they still want to make sure that they don't end up being eliminated in that bottom spot. And OR, well, they've got all four of their members back up on their feet. The question now is, do they go back in for the fight, or do they just take a chill pill and instead focus on rotating in? Because the circle has shifted. And once again, you don't want to be the team that is late to that third circle, because the real estate starts getting snatched up very, very quickly, and fights might just break out and you may not have enough time to decide what you want to do. Maxi OP, well, he is going to be hearing all this commotion, so he has an inkling that maybe the opponent team could be leaving, as they will be leaving them alone. And yeah, it seems that Reckoning Esports is going to be A-okay for the time being. They've got the vehicles to rotate out as well. Nothing should really come in their way, and the circle.
Well, I have to say, OR Esports, they made a right decision there. They already got the points. They could have just gone and attacked Reckoning Esports, but they are sticking to their normal strategy, basic stuff. favor the zone, and that is important for them. But talking about U-Dog India, what a team they are turning out to be. Rambo, Dark, Fearless, and Dave, all four becoming the superstars they always dreamed of.
Absolutely. I mean, they are trying to become the superstars that they once hoped that they could be. But the question is, can they actually perform in this match? Because that is the only time we'll find out what they're really made of and if they're superstars. But in the meantime, Chicken Rushers, they are also looking to get themselves a chicken dinner. Can they actually find it though? Because they are still in that bottom 8 spot, and if they want to make it to top 16, well, they're going to need multiple chicken dinners and multiple great performances to push them up. Speaking of the circle, it has shifted further down south towards Los Leones, and right in the center, you've got TSG as well as the members from Enigma holding those compounds.
Well, pretty much expected circle coming in the favor of a lot of teams who expected that. Team Enigma in the center, TSD there as well. We see Team Hyderabad Hydras coming in from the southern region of the zone, and they have a decent compound, or maybe I would say decent ridge in the zone. Meanwhile, talking about Chicken Rushers, if I'm not wrong, they managed to get one chicken dinner in this competition. They would love to get some more, because if they can get 3 back-to-back good games, then they can qualify. Meanwhile, talking about 7C, now they're rushing in. Maxi managed to get knocked by falling from the vehicle, it seems, Floki.
Okay, yeah, I mean, a little bit of rash driving over there, but Skrillex, or rather Skrills, is going to be knocked down by the grenade. Not the singer, folks, not the singer, the player Skrills is going to be knocked down by that nade, but 7Cs, well, they're going to have to step very, very carefully over here, because they are on land right now, and it does seem that a couple of members from the side of X-Lines have them in their sights. Sarang going to pop a smoke, going to get his teammate back up on his feet, but once again, if they're not careful, 7Cs, they might get taken out over here. And well, it does seem that Reckoning Esports, they see a weakness and they strike right at the heart of it. Prince also knocked down, and Sarang is just on nurse duty over here, picking everyone who's fallen back up. In the meantime, Celsius Esports, well, it looks like the first pick of the game is finally going to be drawn. Wixky will get the credit for that, as I believe it was a member from the side of Tactical Esports who got taken out, although I could be wrong. In the meantime, Viper will get a knock on Hero with the Mini 14. But we're going to continue to turn our attention towards Reckoning Esports, who do seem to be in a bit of a stalemate at this point. 7C's Esports, they're not really going to try and take up a fight against Reckoning just yet. In fact, Reckoning going to try and rotate out instead, but we'll see if 7C's are going to shoot them in the back, as I do want to find out what is happening on the other side. I don't believe there's going to be a fight happening over here. So if we could turn our attention towards the side of maybe only Glitch and Tactical, well, that would be great, but it does seem that Reckoning Esports are going to continue to hold on to this area for the time being. The pickup truck has blown up, so Skrills has been provided with some cover, and it seems that there's going to be nothing standing between his way and certain victory. As long as 7C's Esports stay down there, they're not going to be able to move out, because our Reckoning Esports, they've got that high ground to work with.
It's the pressure speaking, Floki, it seems. I mean, both these teams, they are desperate to get some points on the table, and that's why they're not willing to fight it out just yet. Talking about Team Soul, they just spotted 7C and Viru trading some shots with 7C, and they're rushing in. But the Stabber Team Soul, they decided it's time to rush in. Team Soul on the back foot. Viewer just got knocked. Rox would love to deploy a smoke and try to revive Viewer, but it's not going to happen for Team Soul.
Absolutely, Team Soul, well, it doesn't look like they are going to be able to go in over here. The nades come pouring in from the side of 7Cs, but can they actually connect? No, Rox will stay alive. In fact, Soul, they come in from the wrong side. Viru is also going to be knocked down over here. What the hell is up with these rotations from Soul? I don't quite know. Rox is going to be biting the dust. Viper still inside the cover of that smoke. And I believe soon enough, Viper is going to be eliminated soon after. Rox will also bite the dust. Oh my god, he is taking some damage over here. Still trying to fight his way out, but 7C's Esports, they've got the numbers, they've got the men. And it seems that Rox is not going to be long for this world. They will also spam the smoke and clean up Viper. Soul being knocked out in 16th place. Once again, the first team to be wiped out of the board.
Clearly, I don't understand what they were trying to do. I mean, there was no smoke in their way. They should have rotated from a different angle. They knew someone was there. It was an open field. It was an invite party for Team 7C, and they just ate the dinner. Meanwhile, talking about Reckoning Esports, they wanted to do the third party, but I mean, none of the 7C players are knocked down, so they are just staying quiet at this point of time.
Absolutely. Reckoning Esports as well as X-Lions both just staying put, because 7Cs don't really have a place to go. They're going to have to pop a couple of smokes if they want to try and make their way out, and it does seem that there is an Orm in play over here. Sniper doing justice to his name will knock down Canary, but the question is, can he actually finish him? Aladdin going to drop a smoke to try and get to that bike, but well, I'm not too sure if that bike is the best vehicle to have in this situation. Unless he's planning to go the long way around, that bike could be his undoing. But They've also got the option of a couple of other vehicles over here. 7 Seas, if they want, they can carpool and make their way out of this, well, horrible spot.
Sometimes you just need speed to enter the zone, Floki. Maybe that is why that bike is coming into action. Meanwhile, X-Line Madhav getting into play, but Team X-Park also coming in, getting the knock on Team X-Lines maybe. But 7C, X-Line, Team X-Park, they're into a jiffy. A Bermuda Triangle is forming there.
Yeah, the Bermuda Triangle is forming in the meantime, and we're going to be turning our attention towards the side of Team X-Park, who, well, they have the high ground against the side of X-Lines, and X-Lines might not be long for this world. Madhav's going to be the first one to get knocked down. Simple, as well as his teammate. The Samurai is going to get blown up, the vehicle blown to smithereens, and Team X-Park will get themselves 3 finishes to work with. Wait a second, no, they only get 1 finish. It was actually Reckoning Esports who stole those finishes right out of their mouth. And now Team X-Park, upset as all hell, they're going to try and get some revenge. 17 Esports, the prime target for this aggression. But I wonder if they're actually going to be able to clean them up. In the meantime, Old Esports in a world of trouble. That nade is going to knock out Crazy and put him 6 feet on the 2. No, he is able to get into cover in the nick of time. And it does seem that Tactical will use their weapons to finish off the job. Sultan is also going to get cleaned up. And India ends up going down from OR Esports. A lot of teams biting the dust over here. And in the meantime, OR, they've got Evo still standing. Only Glitch now in a 1v1 against the members of OR. It's going to be Evo versus Botslayer. And Botslayer still crouching, still healing, still making sure that if there is a misstep by Evo, he can't punish him. But Evo instead is going to focus on getting his teammate back up on his feet. And now with 2 members in the fight, it's going to be a lot easier for OR to finish what they started.
Well, I think he had 2 options there. He could have rushed in, but he decided to go away. He decided to wait for it. The patience is going to pay off or not. That is going to be the big question for only Glitch. Meanwhile, talking about the zone, Floki, I think RE Sports Rockstar is the last one standing for them, and he's outside the zone.
Oh yeah, look at that. Jelly now having the number on the sides of only Glitch. Well, they started something that they could not finish, and now the members of OR are here to punish. Jelly still waiting around the corner, waiting for a reload to come in, and now they are going to double peek and put him 6 feet under. OR Esports, a masterclass in how to take these fights and turn around from these corners. But in the meantime, that same stalemate, that same ceasefire continues between Reckoning Esports and 7 Seas as the tensions are high. But it doesn't seem that any team is willing to pull the trigger just yet.
Well, now both these teams just got warmed up and they want to enter the zone, so I would love to see how they are going to do that. Meanwhile, talking about the zone, Team X-Park is going to the only team who is in the zone entirely. Meanwhile, talking about Reckoning Esports, they are desperate, they want to enter the zone, but it's not going to be that easy, Floki. I mean, they have a lot of teams to face off. TSG is just in front of them, 7C on the left. They got Enigma to deal with, they got X-Park to deal with. If they want to enter the zone, they have to fight it out.
Yeah, this is a very clever move coming in from Reckoning Esports, because I don't think the 7Cs have the vision to try and figure out what Reckoning Esports are up to. If they maybe see them on the hood feed, maybe they can figure out where they are, but it seems that Team X-Park have been put 6 feet under as Guild got taken out over here. Krish will bite the dust. Look at that beautiful nade come pouring in. And now Enigma turning their attention towards the members of Chicken Rush as they going in alone on the buggy sniper. He was so beautiful with the arm, but the arm is going to be out of the picture as Shot Boy, the only member standing now from Chicken Rush, is carrying their hopes and dreams over here. But U-Dog is coming in. They smell blood in the water. They smell chicken in the air. And boy, do they want some for themselves. As elsewhere on the map, Reckoning Esports going to be throwing up fists against the side of TSG. But can TSG hold strong? Yes, they can. D-Sync is actually going to pull off the 1v2 over here. The finish is going to be confirmed as well. As Skrill's going to try his best to get some revenge. He will get one. But how many more can he actually find? In the meantime, U-Dog going up against the side of Tactical. I believe 3 members from U-Dog are still standing strong, and they should be able to put out, the fire that is lit on the side of the members of Chicken Rushers, as well as the members from Tactical Esports that may be prepped up. Could be big, but I wonder if that's going to happen. I'm not too sure.
Well, a couple of nades were being prepped there, but no nade found that way. Meanwhile, Last Man Standing coming in. Tactical is doing good. They are looking good. Hitman with a 1v3 against U-Dog India. That was immaculate coming in from Team Tactical. The Last Man Standing, the last hope for Team Tactical now is in a 1v1 situation against Chicken Rushers, Jack Boy.
Absolutely. Well, he is in a 1v1 on the other side, though. Chicken Rushers, they do have another member keeping their dream alive. So even if they end up losing Jut Boy, they can maybe get some placement points. But once again, that is a long-distance fantasy. And in the meantime, Reckoning Esports, they will find a knock on the members of 7 Seas. In fact, 7 Seas are out. They have been eliminated over here. And Tactical Esports and OR, they've got 1 member each. The only teams who've still got 4 members alive are the members of Enigma. X-Park, with 3 players still standing, can do a fair amount of work, but Ultron and Scout need to get into a better position to do so. look at Scout. He's got that Desert Ghillie suit. Can he actually make work with it? Reckoning Esports, two of the members knocked down abroad. The only person still standing. Can Mavi win that fight? Oh, he is prone. He is trying to stay alive. Is there a nade? No, there is not. Scout will be finished off in the meantime. And Mavi and Oswan, the only member still standing. Enigma spilled out of the water. Come around, but abroad as well as out. Mavi both, in fact, going to turn around and slap the members of Enigma right in their face. Abroad going to take out another member from Enigma. In fact, the truce has been called in by the side of X-Spark as well as the team on the other side, and seems that Team X-Spark will be going forward and finding themselves a couple of finishes to work with. And well, teamwork makes the dream work. When your members are gone, you take the help of the enemy team instead.
What a match this is turning out to be. Mobi, with the help of Abrar there, they managed to take out 3 players of Team Enigma. And what a beautiful scenario coming in from Team X-Spark. They managed to get 4 finishes there. Mobi with 4, and total Team X-Spark, they managed to get 6 finishes. Now, it's the time to find who will win the chicken. You know why? Because we have like 5 teams remaining, and all 5 of their teams have only 1 player remaining for them.
Absolutely. Well, this is a 5-way 1v1 standoff. Who's going to come out on top? That is the question. No knocks at this point. Only a couple of finishes to work with. Hitman will find the first. He's got a couple of smokes to work with, but the blue zone closing in from the distance. It's going to make it a little bit troublesome for him to try and move out, because he doesn't really have a lot of cover to work with. I think he might be done for. Might just be going for those heal battles. And Hitman at this point is just prioritizing staying alive. First aid kits being used. Jelly, that nade being prepped up. Where does it? It's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to connect on anyone. But Jelly doesn't know that, so he has cleared that area for now. We'll look in the other direction instead, where Hitman continues to heal himself back up. Alright, I guess we aren't on Miramar anymore. We are on the map of Sandhawk, because Hitman, well, he's got a couple of first aid kits to work with, and he will make this a heal battle. There you go. Once again, he's trying to heal himself back up. Make sure that at least he can survive and get a couple more placement points. And well, the play zone will lock down Saggy, and Hitman's dreams will come true. He will get an extra 2 placement points courtesy of those med kits, or rather those first aid kits. And Hitman is done. It is going to go on the side of Team X-Spark somehow. Bobby stays alive until the very end, gets his team those placement points. And that is all she wrote, as X-Spark finds the chicken dinner on day 4 as well.
I mean, that's why they call him the magician, right? Magician Mavi, managing to get the winner chicken dinner for his team. You know, it was a bad situation for Team X-Spark. It was a bad situation for Team Reckoning. Team Enigma, I thought they would come and they would, you know, take out both the teams. But, you know, they joined hands together, and Abrar and Mavi, they managed to get the better of Enigma.
I mean, the enemy of